I do believe we are back where I needed to be. So let's start again, shall we? Good morning, everybody. I don't know why that sound wasn't coming through because it's not coming through my phone. It's coming through my speaker. But we must have had a bit of a loose connection somewhere. So good morning. Let's come back here and let's say hello properly. So good morning. Let's just forget that the first 2 minutes happened. Let's start again. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. And as I did say right at the beginning, and you weren't able to hear me, for any of you ladies that are of a certain age and you have the days, weeks, months where you feel like you're going completely mad and lost control of the world, welcome. Just come in and watch any of my videos and you'll know you're not alone. So welcome to I don't know, menopausal mad crafting, perhaps we should call it. Perhaps I should completely rename myself. But welcome. My name is Helen Jennings. As I say, I am a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK, have been for 8.5 years now, and I love to come on and share my love of crafting with you, and thank you so much for tolerating my moments of madness. It's lovely to be here with you. So let me bring back in this screen. So this is me. This is where you will find my website. This is where you will find all of my inspiration, links to my shop, classes, all of those sorts of things. I have had a really busy week this week, and there is lots of things I am behind with, but hopefully we shall catch up eventually, and everything will be up to date on the website. So there's still some classes and things to go up to, but keep an eye on that. There will be links for paper shares, ribbon shares, in colour clubs, all of those things going on up there. You can sign up there for my newsletter and keep informed of any upcoming offers and all of those sorts of things. The other thing that you can do over on my website is to request a catalogue. Let me just come in here a minute and hide that. That's it. And then you can see just there, if you'd like to request a catalogue from me, if you are here in the UK and you don't think you're going to get one of our beautiful new annual catalogues and you would really love one, then do reach out to me. You can either go onto my website slash request a catalogue. You'll find it under the contact tab at the top of my website, and you can fill in a form just there and I will send you a catalogue out. Alternatively, just reach out to me, message me in any way, and I will be happy to send you a catalogue. And there are some beautiful, beautiful things in that new catalogue. So if you want to get your hands on beautiful things in the catalogue a week or so early, then do consider joining the family, because for £99 you can get a starter kit worth £130 worth of product plus catalogues and all of those sorts of things, shipping free to your address. And you can include pre-order items in that. So if you are interested in doing that, do get in touch. I would love to help you with that. And the other thing you'll find, as I say, on my website is all of my events and things, all of the classes I need to fill. I'm still to fill in some details and things for those, but do keep an eye on those. They will be going up very, very soon. But we are booking for the retreat. So if that is something that you would like to join us for, that is happening on the 18th of June. And will be happening in a Northamptonshire village called Wadnow, next to the river. It's an all-day event. You get all your food all day. You get a gorgeous kit of goodies that you're going to be able to play with, and they will be from the new catalogue. So there's lots there for you to come along and enjoy. And if you come and join us for the day, it's £100 all inclusive. If you're not able to join us for the day but would still like that kit of product, would still like lots of inspiration, you can opt for the retreat in a box, and I will send you out a box of goodies so you can enjoy a crafty retreat home in your perhaps do it with a friend. That would be equally lovely. So do get in touch if any of those things are of interest to you. So let's come back to here. And let's have a think about what we're going to play with today. Now, the last week I wasn't here on Monday because it was a bank holiday, Easter bank holiday here in the UK. But previously to that, for the last couple of lives, we have been concentrating on some of the bundles that you're still going to be able to get the product in the new catalogue, but you're not going to get it at bundle price. So do keep an eye out on that. Do keep an eye on that last chance list. There's not very long now to get your hands on those things, only a few more days really. So do make sure that you've got everything off of that retiring list that you want to get. And if there's any of those bundles that you want to get them while you get your 10% off. But for today, I thought we would revert to the mini catalogue. So let's bring this in. And my camera keeps warning today. It so that it's sitting a little bit more stable. Okay, so I thought we would come back, as I said, to the mini catalogue today, because this could get a little bit lost. We've still got until June, the end of June 2022, so we've still got a couple of months left in the life of this mini catalogue. So anything that is in here is not on and is not retiring at this stage. You can still get all of it, but it can get a little bit lost. As I say, we're so concentrating on new things that are coming in the new catalogue that we can forget some of the loveliness in here. So I thought we'd have a play today with a suite that's a little bit different. Let's see if I can find it for you in here. And it is the symbol of Fortune Suite. Here we are. So very sort of oriental feel to this suite. You've got a stamp and die bundle, you've got some ribbon, you've got some pretty embellishments, you've got some mother of pearl speciality paper and a speciality 12 by 12 DSP pack. And you can see it's quite a sort of soft muted palette: Calypso Coral, Evening Evergreen, Soft Succulent, Crumb Cake, Smoky Slate, and then Gold. So really pretty. We have a look at some of the samples. You've got all these lovely papers. You've got this crane image, and some of that imagery is reflected in the backgrounds of the papers. There's quite a lot of gold foiling. And then you have this chrysanthemum image as well, which is really, really beautiful. So it's a lovely little suite of products. But I think may have got a bit lost, and that's possibly because it doesn't jump out of the page in terms of bright colours. Now, next weekend, not this Saturday, but next Saturday, we have got a stamp camp coming up. The Creativity Abounds team have got a stamp camp coming up using this bundle, and if you do decide, having seen these samples and things, that you would really like to come and join us for that, then you would be very welcome. I can still send you out the kits and things and add you into the Facebook page. I'll talk to you a bit about that in a minute. But this is the stamp set. So it is you have got sort of one of these stamps where you get all the added detail. One stamp gives you layers of colour. As I say, you've got this crane image. So obviously sort of the whole idea of sort of good fortune, well wishes, wishing a lifetime of happiness and a world full of love. So lovely for things like weddings, engagements, those sorts of things. If somebody was starting a new job or something like that. So you've got those, and then you've got the good fortune dies, because it's all about good fortune. You've got a die to cut your crane, a die to cut your chrysanthemum, a die to cut some of these leaves and dragonfly images there, and then you have a few more sort of detailed dies. This is a particularly lovely one, and then that little leaf one just there, and another little one just there with some more sort of foliage on it. The mother of pearl paper, you could look at this in the catalogue and Yeah, and probably even on video, you're not going to be able to pick up how beautiful it is. There, you can see my ring light just there, but it is just, I think you can just about sort of pick up that effect on that paper. It just is really, really beautiful, and it's lovely to add in some little elements. You don't need a lot of it. Hi, Jill. Northwest Ohio. It must be almost the middle of the night for you, is it? Beautiful. I will give a shout out to Jackie as well. Jackie said good morning, or she'd really rather not be here with us. Poor old Jackie's got COVID, which is not nice at the best of the time, but it's a big wedding anniversary this weekend, due big parties, her daughter flying in from Australia, and that positive line is meaning that she's here with us and not doing lovely things with the family. So as lovely as it is to have her here with us, we would really rather she was with her family. Let's move those out of the way. Let's have a nice clean one for now. 4:30 a.m. Jill, that is early. I don't know whether you're an early bird or not sleeping very well today, but whatever it is, you're very, very welcome. And it has been told, I have been told that people fall asleep listening to my voice because they tell me it's not because I'm boring, it's just because of the tone of my voice. So if we can help you get back to sleep, if that's what you want to do, then I will consider that a job well done and catch up later. But if you just got up because you need to be up and I send you back to sleep, apologies. So let's have a little look at this bundle. See, what did I say to you? I said, if you're a woman of a certain age and think you're going mad, come and join me. Can't even find my stamp set now. Here we are, Crane of Fortune. So I think let's dig out our crane to start with. You can see from the illustration on the back there how you're going to get this sort of multi-tonal effect with this stamp. So let us go crumb cake, I think. Going to grab a bit of basic white. And let me cut myself a chunk off of that. Just going to cut this piece of cardstock. Cut myself off a quarter just to have something to play with. Okay, so we've got a piece of basic white just there. Let's find a block. And I think this one is going to require an E block. E by gum. Seems to have a bit of ink on that. Let's give that a rub just in case it's going to come off on our project, which you really don't want it to do. I'm going to pop my crane onto my block. And let's ink it up with our crumb cake ink. There we are, one stamp. And you have all of this sort of beautiful detail. Just is amazing, isn't it? The technology involved in that. One colour, but you get a multi-tonal image resulting. I'm actually going to cut out my little crane. So as with lots of our dies, have we got any little peepholes? We haven't got any little peepholes on this one, but it's just so easy to line it up. I am going to take a little bit of low tack tape just to hopefully stop it wiggling a bit as it goes through the machine. You can see on this die, you see that little gap in the middle just there. That means it's going to cut out between his legs for us. Let's just secure that down. Just having a little wiggle now that I can see it straight on rather than round my camera. A little bit this way, a little bit that way. Right, I think we're about happy with that. Just running it through my cut and emboss. So I have used the big one for that, but I'm sure that he would fit through the mini too. So there we are. We have this beautiful crane. Just put the die back in here so that we don't lose it. What I am going to do is I'm going to take a sponge dauber and a little bit of Calypso Coral ink. And I'm just going to give him a slight hint of a red plume. I'll do the same with his feet, actually. Let's just give those around his legs. Just give that a little bit of a brush of Calypso Coral. So there we have our crane. Let's have a little look at the papers. I didn't do that. I omitted to show you the papers, and they are beautiful papers. I have already used quite a bit of mine, so I don't know. Let's have a look. See if we can find you some bigger bits to show you rather than the little bits. So you see you've got this beautiful gold foiling. So there's the crane with his gold wings and neck. Another one here. This is like branches and blossom. This one, there's that, the gold that reflects that dye. This one is sort of like a splattery gold effect. This one again is sort of trees. They look like feathers, don't they, growing on those trees? And what is the one that we've got missing? This one, I think. So really beautiful papers. If you then swing them over, you've got a sort of whole range. You've got this crumb cake with these this foliage on. You've got this pretty Calypso Coral. It's like this sort of almost blobby effect in the background. These gorgeous chrysanthemums on there. There you've got your cranes in the background. You've got a nice big cloudy piece with cranes flying upside down, but you only have to turn it round and then the cranes fly the right way. And I have to say, I think this is one of my favourite papers in the pack. I think this is just beautiful. A really lovely paper. So let's have a look at what little pieces we've got. Do we want some of that? Are we going to come in with some of that? That's rather pretty, isn't it? Might even bring in a little bit of foiling. Quite liking that mix going on. let's cut ourselves one of these dies with some out of the mother of pearl. It's just such lovely paper. So it is actually really stiff. This is card-like rather than paper-like. So it is, you know, got real wobble factor to it. I'm just going to cut around that. We will run that through the die cutting machine. Obviously, I have my Stampin' Up Cut and Emboss, and I love my Stampin' Up Cut and Emboss. But if you happen to have another brand of die cutting machine, that doesn't matter. Our dies will still work. I know sometimes if people are just starting out in this card making journey, things like that, I've seen people sort of say, well, it's a such and such machine, so I have to use their dies. No, you will find dies will mix and match. The only dies really that are you have to have specific machines for is if you have the big thick original dies, which Stampin' Up used to do. So if you have some of those still in your stock, or they often use them for sort of patchwork type things, for die cutting patchwork fabric. So if you have those big original steel dies, you do need a machine that will take them, and actually ours will. So that is an extra bonus. So are we going to go pink on the back with crumb cake, or crumb cake on the back? Yes, with Calypso Coral on the top. We'll have a little flash of our this is coming out. The other thing that you get in this suite is so you get this ribbon, which is really rather beautiful. So it is a soft succulent ribbon, but satiny sort of sheen to it. Just gorgeous, feels beautiful. It's a 1/2 inch wide, so it's quite a wide ribbon, but beautiful. And the other thing is these polished dots. As you can see, I don't like these, not used any of them. Oh yes, perhaps I have. And they're sort of in this clear, and then the well, I expect it's Calypso Coral, but it's like almost petal pinkish, just a really subtle pink tint to it. So you can certainly use that with lots of your pinky projects, however they are looking. Let's bring this together into a card. I'm just thinking, what colour card base do I want? Let's have a couple of options and decide which we like best. So decisions. Are we going to go a white card base? Are we going to go a Calypso Coral card base? Or are we going to go with a crumb cake? Now, I think it's either between the crumb cake or the Calypso Coral. I think the white washes it out a bit. I'm going to cut some paper to size, and feel free to shout at me and tell me which you prefer, crumb cake or the Calypso Coral. I'll leave them there and get my trimmer. So, because of the pieces of paper I've got there, we are going to need to go long ways, side opening long ways, I think. So I'm going to cut this to 14.4. The Calypso. Jackie says the Calypso. And this one I'm going to take and cut to 9.5. So obviously for Jill out in Ohio and anybody else that uses letter size cardstock, this is your first two matte sizes. So that's testing my brain now. So that will be a card base that would be 11 inches by 4.25. Your first mat would be 4 by 5.25, and the second one is 3 3/4 by 5. I hope I've got that right. Morning, Elaine. So we're going to go Calypso card. Just grabbing another piece of card because, as I say, I need it to go the other way. Brand new pack, shiny new pack of Calypso card. Let's cut this at 10.5. So if it was letter size, it would be 4.25, full length, scored in half at either 5.5 inches, or if you're using metric like we are, a smidge under 14.9. That's an official term. It's about 14.85 if you want to get it exactly in half. So something obviously caught in my trimmer just there. That's a little bit fluffy. I'm just going to trim that off. Turn that over. We're going to hide that beautiful foiling on this occasion. So there we have our crumb cake. Here we have our clip. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit more so that we can see a bit more of our Calypso cardstock underneath. I'm taking another 0.5 centimetre, 1/4 of an inch off each side just to make that, so we get a bit more of that crumb cake peeping through. What we could do, of course, is we could gut this piece of paper. In fact, I might do that. Let's not just talk the talk, let's walk the walk. So this piece of paper here, it's got beautiful foiling on the back, and do we really want to have that disappear underneath our top mats, never to be seen again? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave I think probably a 2 centimetre border. So in order to do that, I have put this piece of paper in my trimmer, and I've got it rested here. Let's bring that down a bit more. Got it rested here against the 2 centimetre mark. I am then going to bring my trimmer blade to the 2 centimetre mark on my side grid. So if you're doing this in inches, probably about 3/4 of an inch, something like that. I mean, it's not an exact science, it doesn't matter, but just choose what you're going to go with and go there. I have got the metric arm on my trimmer. It comes with an imperial arm, and you can get the metric arm separately to pop on, which I have done because obviously I tend to use metric more often. So I'm going to bring that down then to the 8 centimetre mark. And can you see on that trimmer where you've got this line just here? And that gives you the indication of where the blade is cutting. So I'm going to bring that down to about 8 centimetres. Swing it round so that we're on the 2 centimetres again. And then 2 centimetres. I'm going to bring this down to 12.4. I had to do a quick bit of maths there, but my piece of paper is 14.4, so take off 2 and that makes it 12.4. 2 till 8, and finally 2 to about 12.4. And then that centerpiece will pop out. I then have that beautiful piece of foil paper that I'm going to be able to use on another project. Need to have a look at my trimmer running a minute. There's obviously some fluff in there, but that won't matter because that's going to be hidden. So now we can stick that mat on the top, and nobody's any the wiser that there is a hole in it. I'm going to trim this to the same length, so that will be. Now, before I go any further, what I am going to do is here's a nice little oddment of cardstock here. I'm just going to fold that over, and I'm just going to run it down my trimmer track, because I was cutting quite a bit of card inserts and things the other day, various things, and it's obviously picked up quite a bit of fluff in there, so I've just cleaned that out. Now we cut this to 13.4, so let's cut this to 13.4. And we have our it's just there. Or do we want them to come on the side? Oh, I might do it on the side actually. I have that coming down the side and have my crane just here. That's quite pretty. Let's get some glue and start sticking some of this down. The other thing I might well bring in, if it is to hand, is some of the gold thread. So this is the silver and gold thread metallic pack. It will come back to me in a minute. But this is carrying over. It is going to be available in the new catalogue, but really useful when you're just wanting a little bit of a metallic pop on something. Who's going to be the first to tell me what that pack of twine is called? Let's add in our Calypso coral layer. And to add my border gold foiling. pop our border down here. Simply Elegant. Thank you, Jackie. It is. It's the Simply Elegant trim. And it is indeed Simply Elegant. It does give a nice little pop of metallic to projects. We'll decide where we're going to put our bow in a moment. Just going to run this crane through my fingers slightly and give him a little bit of shape. Going to put some dimensionals on the back of here. Let me just grab some snips because I need just to cut some edge pieces for his legs. So let's have a little piece just there. And a little piece just there. And then I'm going to come in with a mini dimensional. I think that will just about fit on his head just there, so that we've given him some support. I'm going to hold fire actually sticking him down for a minute while we have a think about greetings. So we've got wishing a lifetime of happiness and a world full of love, much luck and good fortune, sending 1,000 well wishes on your special day. I go with much luck and good fortune for this one. And perhaps down there. And perhaps we will stick with that Calypso coral. Let's find ourselves a block. We'll go with a C block. I'll bring in my little bit of basic white. Nearly called it Whisper White then. Still haven't completely got out of the habit. Going to cut that on a little bit of an angle just there. Let me find myself a little bit of Calypso coral card. Oh, let's throw our greeting on the floor. That's really useful. Add that Try a card now. I tend to just get myself a bigger piece of scissors, bigger pair of scissors, and do this by eye. You can do it on your trimmer. You can measure it first if that works better for you. Right, I think, would we like this to be behind there? Yes, I think so. So I'm going to snip off the end of this. And take a glue dot. Hi, Lisa. Yeah, we're still going. And to add that to the back of there, and then we'll put a dimensional on there as well. Let's put one at end. Tuck that so it comes across the bottom of that strip, so it's not completely overlapping the strip. You've got the strip peeping out. Let's bring back in our stalk. Crane, same family, I think. I'm going to tuck him in behind that sentiment, just there. And then, where have our beautiful polished stones gone? They were here, weren't they? When they come back to light in a minute, we'll pop some on there, with those on there as well. Obviously, this is one of the cards that you're going to need to put an insert in, because you're going to want something to write on, so it will want a nice basic white insert in there, and perhaps you could stamp a little bit of your crane on there. Perhaps you could come in with some of the foliage if you'd rather. A couple of dragonflies even would look quite good on that. So when you come to do your insert, there are some options for decorating that. I'll pop it to one side for a minute, and I'm sure that the minute I stop looking, those polished stone gems will come to light. Just going to move these out of the way for now. And let's have a look at the other big stamp in this set. And this is this gorgeous chrysanthemum just here. And I think I want to combine that with some of this beautiful paper, just because it is so lovely. And I think we'll perhaps go soft succulent base for this and pick up that soft succulent in the background there. So let me grab some soft succulent card. Also grab some evening evergreen while I was there as well. Gorgeousness. So is a little wider than it needs to be. So let's just trim that, score that in half. To take this, cut it to 14.4, which is our first size of mat. Trim that to 10 centimetres. I'm going to take this DSP and cut a strip that's 9.5 centimetres by 13.9. So your first 3 levels of mat, whatever that happens to be. I think I need to treat myself to a new blade in my trimmer. That is just beautiful, isn't it? Hardly need anything else on there, really. But we will bring in some of this chrysanthemum stamp because, again, it is so beautiful. So the background on there is Calypso Coral. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my soft succulent Stampin' Right marker. And I'm going to ink up my stamp. Actually, change of mind. Woman's prerogative to change her mind. I'm actually going to bring in a Stamparatus. I'm going to take out my mat because we have a cling stamp, so it doesn't need that extra level in there. Straighten that out. Let's bring in a bit more basic white card. Line that up on this grid paper, so we, in case of disaster, know our starting point. Now, I'm not going to be too worried that this has got some ink on it because we're right. Let's ink this up again, once more with feeling. And stamp just here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my soft succulent marker, and using the brush end, I'm going to come in where I think we have leaves. So this is a leaf just here, and you can use your image for a bit of guidance. Use the picture on the front. There's some buds. I'm just adding a little bit of extra green to them. Got a leaf down here. And the good thing about doing it on the Stamparatus is as you stamp it, if you feel as if you've missed a bit, hi Glenda, you can go back in, or if you feel it wants to be a bit darker, come in on this leaf up here as well. Let's give it another layer. And just the bottom of that bud. So there we have, give that a bit of a squiggle in case it's picked up any clips of coral. So there we have a geranium with both Calypso coral and soft succulent. So the leaves are a different colour. I'm just looking to see if I can fit another one on there. Actually, it doesn't matter. I can take it off and lay it on. Let's see where we can get another one. To anchor down my paper. Just there. Got a little faint outline of it, but nothing too drastic. I'm going to come in with my Calypso coral. Being a little bit brave, hoping I don't pick up too much green on there. I don't think I have. Stamp that. Let's give it another layer. It is a truly beautiful stamp, Glenda. It is really lovely. I think this stamp is worth getting the suite on its own. So let's colour in this leaf. So of course we could have just done this in one colour. It's one of those stamps make a great sort of if you're only making your own papers, your own backgrounds, would be great for that. So your Stamparatus is always fabulous if you're building up multicoloured. We could have used our Calypso coral marker and coloured straight to stamp with that. We could have done multicoloured chrysanthemums, have one flower, one colour, and have a different colour in the background. Could have gone in and added in a different tone in the middle. There, we've got two there. So we'll cut those out because, of course, we have the dies to do that. And I think while I'm there, while we're doing that, this has got some evergreen butterflies on, but I might stamp some of the, and they look more like dragonflies on this stamp, but you could very well excuse them as butterflies. Let's grab some Evening Evergreen ink. And I think we'll just have a pair just there. We have a die to cut those out as well. And then perhaps we'll bring in a little bit of spare soft succulent card and we'll cut out. That's a random little bit, isn't it? But perfect for cutting these little bits out. So let's cut out our chrysanthemums, our dragonflies, and our little bits of foliage. just lined those all up. And then we will cut a second set of there's one piece of the foliage. These little dragonflies, as you've got your stamped image, you've got these little dots on the bottom of the die, and they will enable you to see the bottom of the tail peeping through as you're lining those up. Those little dot pieces just help you to line that up. There's our little dragonflies. There's one of our chrysanthemums. Let's just cut the other. Run that through. Okay. I am going to run one more piece of foliage through, but before I do that, I think what I would like is to have some sort of a frame die sitting underneath the flowers, so sort of almost between the beautiful paper on the bottom and the flowers, just to break that up a bit. Got scalloped contours here. I think I might take that one. That might just be enough just to be able to lift it. And I think we'll cut that out with a bit of the mother of pearl. What I also might do is take this scalloped die and just cut myself a border of that Calypso coral paper. This die's got a little bit bendy with excitement. Stay. Okay, let's run that through. I will move that die because the one on my frame die has shifted slightly. There we go, label die. Let's run that through. And let's look what we've got here. So we've got this beautiful mother of pearl frame. If we just trim this off. We have a scallop of Calypso coral paper. I've just found my polished dots, few, and we've got another little bit of foliage just there. So let's have a scallop of that paper. Let's have our frame lifting that up. Let's have some of these on the top, and I'm going to have a sentiment coming across there as well, and have our little bits of foliage in here. We have two little dragonflies that we will find a home for. We'll build that up in a second, because the other thing that we want, and I think we'll go with, I can peel it off the background, is the wishing a lifetime of happiness and a world full of love. What a lovely sentiment. I'm going to grab H block for that one. Got a nice bit of basic white card there. That's right, just scrabbling around. We've definitely had the Evening Evergreen ink pad. Here it is. So the stamp camp that we've got going on this weekend, so it's a collaboration of 13 demonstrators from around the world. There is now 3 of us here in the UK. I think it's 4 from Australia, 2 from Canada, and the rest from the US. I think that's the mix. I might have got that slightly wrong, but quite a collection of demonstrators, different styles, all of those sorts of things. Every one of them lovely, and I consider them all friends as time goes on. But we're coming together for a stamp camp. So how that works is that you buy this suite of products, or whatever suite we're working with. On this occasion, it's this one. You buy the suite of products from one of us, or an equivalent. So if you already have the suite, you can still get involved just by buying an equivalent suite, equivalent amount, spend an equivalent amount. We will then send you get a tutorial bundle. Each month this team puts together a tutorial bundle, but with the stamp camps you get the tutorial bundle for free, just for having bought that suite. So on top of that, you will be sent your particular tutorial bundle, unlike the ones that people can buy off of our site, will have links to a YouTube video created by each of us demonstrating the card in the tutorial. You will then also receive make and take kits for each of the cards, containing all the bits that you don't already have, obviously, in your suite. So you won't get the DSP and those sorts of things because you already have that, but you will get all the card stock and those sorts of things. And then you get entered into an exclusive Facebook group where over the course of 24 hours or so, next from about Friday night to Saturday night, and that might vary depending on where you are in the world, you will see 13 Facebook Lives of 13 different projects. So at the end of the day, you buy the suite from us and you will get at least 26 ideas of things that you can create with that suite. So it is incredibly good value. It's good fun. There's already challenges and things going in on the Facebook group. Need to trim that a little bit. What I will do is stick it down and then trim it. I should have trimmed it before I stuck the paper down, but so yeah, so they are really fabulous, these stamp camps. So I am sending my kits out this weekend to those that are having them in the post. So you still have time to shout that you would like to take part. I mean, even after that, I can send you the kits and you can play catch up. But in order to have the things to be able to do it on the day, if that's what you want to do, yeah, you really need to let me know. But this won't be the last one we're doing. I think the plan, hopefully, we already have a suite in mind from the new catalogue to do another one in July. So wherever you are in the Stampin' Up world, there should hopefully be a demonstrator somewhere near you that is participating in this stamp camp. And if you're not sure, if you're not here in the UK but you are interested, not sure if you'd be able to join in, do get in touch and I will give you the names of those demonstrators in your location. What I'm going to do actually is I'm going to snip off that stalk just there. I'm not going to put any more dimensionals on it just because of the postage. I'm just going to lay that on for a minute. I will press it down in a second. Let's slip that one underneath there. And the mother of pearl card is a little bit slippy anyway, so it will give me a bit of wiggle room. Let's put some glue on the back there. Oh, that one's got a funny little cut out of it. Let's do that and disguise that. How shall we have that? Shall we have it coming off the edge, out of the corner, underneath? Might do it underneath actually, so it's tucked under there. So we've got the scallops sitting on top of it. Let's have that coming down there. I'm going to put just a little dimensional on the back of here. And then let's put one on the back of there. Let's bring both of those cards back in and grab these little polished dots. So this one here, I'm going to add in some of the pinky ones. Yeah, we'll have a little one over there. And this one down the bottom here, I think I'm just going to have some of the clear ones. And I'll have one down here, and again we want a little insert inside that, so we could add in a little bit of stamping of the chrysanthemum probably on the corner of that insert. So there we go. So it is a suite that's a little bit different, and it has got that bit of an oriental theme to it, but is really quite pretty. Yeah, so I hope you have enjoyed our little play with that, with the Crane of Fortune stamp and dies and papers, that beautiful mother of pearl paper card that's worth getting even if you don't want anything else from the suite, and the DSPs with some of the gold foiling. And in fact, we've not really highlighted very much the gold foiling apart from that strip just there. We've gone for the other sides of the papers. The gold foil side's beautiful as well. So thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you all have a fabulous weekend, and do come back on Monday, where we're really going to be starting to ramp up towards the launch of the new catalogue, which happens the following week. But yeah, so do come back next week and we'll have some more fun with some other gorgeous products. And I will see you all then.